Welcome to the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Transport Briefing for Wednesday, December 3rd. Currently, we still have quite a bit of prescribed fire occurring across the Great Basin, especially in Utah, but also into parts of Idaho and Nevada. Weather conditions, we've seen some precipitation move across northern areas, especially the last 24 hours, but really it's been very dry over the last 14 days with at least below normal or even some areas well below normal precipitation. Areas over southern Nevada saw this precipitation almost 2 weeks ago, and it was well above normal for the time of year. Over the last 72 hours, we have seen new snowfall and precipitation in areas from Idaho, Wyoming, down into central and northern Utah. Much of this precipitation fell as snow, especially in the mid to higher elevations, and we saw many areas with 6 to 8 inches of new snow or more in some of the highest terrain. Otherwise, we saw a mix of rain and snow or rain showers in the lower elevations. Currently, the snowpack is still well below normal across the northern half of the region, even with this new snowfall, and remains near normal over parts of far southern areas. Our satellite picture from this morning shows an area of high pressure well off the west coast, with northerly flow across the Great Basin, with these areas of low pressure that drop down from the north and northwest across mainly northern and eastern areas of the Great Basin. Currently, we have a system moving south through Utah. Much of the precipitation occurred yesterday in Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, but we still have some remaining clouds and some light showers across parts of Utah. As we move through the day today, that area of low pressure will slide further south and east with drier conditions moving in. We will have some breezy north winds across the eastern half of Nevada into Utah, with much lighter winds up north and out west. You can see the transport winds. We will see some of those wind gusts above 30 or 35 miles per hour, although relative humidity will remain on the high side, but still will be fairly breezy, keeping dispersion higher. Mixing heights will remain low in the north and moderate to high in the far south. You can see the temperatures today. We will be below normal as the system drops south through the Great Basin. It will bring cooler temperatures today, and also tonight especially, we'll see some pretty cold temperatures across much of Idaho, northern Nevada, and into Utah, with even some areas in the teens or single digits. Otherwise, relative humidity will remain above 30% in most areas, with the exception of far southern Nevada. As we move into Thursday, the system is now moving well south and east into the southwest. We will continue with northerly flow, and we'll already have another system moving into the northwest and northern Rockies, which will bring some cloud cover and showers yet again to Idaho, especially later in the day on Thursday. Otherwise, winds will be tapering off, and we will have a generally poor dispersion in most areas. The only exception will be up north in Idaho and Wyoming. As this next system moves in, we will see the winds kicked up a bit in some of those areas. Otherwise, mixing heights remaining on the low side. Temperatures will start to rebound, especially over western areas of the Great Basin, a little bit closer to normal, still remaining cool across Idaho, Wyoming, and northern Utah, especially as that next system moves in, with most highs in the 30s. Relative humidity will remain high up north and generally remain between about 20 and 25% over central and southern Nevada. As we move into Friday, this system continues to track across the Great Basin. We'll continue with showers across Idaho, northern Utah, and over into Wyoming with generally poor dispersion. Otherwise, we will see some breezy winds with that continued northwest flow, especially along and on the lee side of the mountains. Mixing heights will remain low to moderate. Temperatures will really start to climb over western areas of the Great Basin on Friday, so we will see temperatures above normal with highs in the mid to upper 50s. We will even see some of these temperatures improve a bit across Idaho and Utah, although still remaining generally below normal for the time of year. Relative humidity will remain elevated across the north with continued shower activity and lower down south. We will also see those overnight lows after some cold temperatures tonight into tomorrow really will start to improve as we get into Friday night and the weekend. Overall forecast amount of precipitation you can see for Idaho, Wyoming, and the mountains of northern Utah will get the brunt of the precipitation with notable new snowfall, so I would expect some winter weather products across those areas in the coming days. Otherwise, dry conditions continue across much of the western and southern half of Nevada. As we move through the weekend, we'll continue with that northwest flow, so really a lot of areas that have been receiving precipitation in the north and east will continue to see that precipitation through the weekend with drier conditions west and south, and then dispersion will remain fairly good with this northerly flow. As we move into Sunday, similar conditions, although the winds will taper off and some of the moisture will finally start moving off to the north and east, but still remain across Idaho and Wyoming. And then we'll see another round of precipitation moving across Idaho, Wyoming, northern Utah, and possibly back into northern Nevada going into early next week. But still, western and southern areas will only receive some cloud cover and remain on the dry side. Here's the precipitation outlook for Saturday through Sunday night. You can see again across especially the higher terrain of central and eastern Idaho into Wyoming and northern Utah. We'll get much of the precipitation where we will see over a half inch of total precipitation in some areas, which would be over 5 to 8 inches of new snowfall. This precipitation continues into early next week, and then the total for the 7-day, again, many areas up north in central and eastern Idaho and Wyoming will see over an inch of new precipitation, so we will see over a foot of new snowfall total across those areas, and again, still remaining very dry over western and southern Nevada. The 8 to 14-day outlook still shows the northern storm track continuing through the middle of the month, with any precipitation really targeting the northern third of the Great Basin, and we will continue with above normal temperatures, especially over western and southern areas. It does look like the pattern might change towards the middle of the month, dropping some precipitation further south, but we'll see how the weather pattern pans out. That concludes the webcast for today. Check back on Friday for the latest updates.